going one way and the whole rest of the desk are going the other way. I'm thinking, what on earth is going on? But in this matchup, I think, to be fair, I don't blame you picking either team. It really is as close to 50-50 as you can get. And you know, no better seen by a Twitch chat vote, which still baffles me after seeing some of the shocking predictions that Twitch had last weekend and the weekend prior. But yeah, Magnifico, they're out to prove that they aren't just a one event wonder in this one. And Barca trying to prove that they can still be a top team in EU.
Yeah, Barca definitely lost form at the worst possible time. They looked so good in the Swiss system and then just fell apart between the field and the grid, and it definitely carried over as Atomic will start us off. And it has been a very one-sided opening half a minute.
And expect to see more of this. Plenty of this type of play coming out of Magnifico. Atomic was actually rotating out of offense, but he noticed a chance to turn around and just go straight back in for a rebound, and he did. And there was no confusion about that. There was no double commitment as Greasy, you know, maybe wanted to join the offense as well. That is what we come to expect from them. Greasy taking a very defensive role by default and letting Demenza and Atomic just break rotation, turn on any ball that they want to.
Oh, wow. Almost gave away another opportunity. Barca looking to try and work their way into this game. Hasn't worked for them just yet. Here is Greasy. He's got Demenza in the midfield. He's going to get there unchallenged. So far, Barca not quite getting to hang of it. Here is Ronicky. It's him and Itachi that have had the connection that has really provided the most so far for Barca. They're going to need it again today, as here's going to be another opportunity. Oh. Greasy just scuffs it.
Yeah, Greasy will be disappointed with that one. He arrived at the perfect time. It was spot on. Just being in the right place when he needed to be. But the finishing touch wasn't good enough. Now, this one should be. It's Atomic to Demenza. Role reversal from the first goal, as these two continue to just be an offensive powerhouse. What a nasty duo to be up against.
This is very much a team that is, you know, they just do basic numbers against you every single time. If they've got 3 and you've got 2, they are just going to outpace you to the ball. They don't really care where it goes. Just know that if they can get you to bite, if they can get you to commit, then eventually you can have no one left as Devo will cut the lead in half.
Yeah, good positioning by Devo. He gives himself a good chance at catching a wide variety of center balls here. But the pass from Ronicky was also impressive. He didn't really have Devo cleanly in his sights, or clearly in his sights, I should say. But he still managed to stick that ball in the ideal position for him. So great awareness. That's just showing the synergy that these two have been building over all their time playing together.
Oh, that is a huge challenge. Forces Itachi into the move. Barca will need to try and use that last goal to catapult them back into this, because it really did seem like it was goal out of nowhere. They're going to get another one from it.
Wow.
Incredible pass over to Ronicky.
You know, both teams now have had a little 1-2 roll going on. It seems like it's Atomic and Demenza as an offensive duo against Ronicky and Devo in this game. Now Devo returning the favor that Ronicky just gave to him. Brilliant infield passing out of Barcelona. That's a brilliant response.
Barca, just like that, overturn the 2-goal deficit. 3 minutes left. They might get another one for this. Atomic forced to just bash the ball high. Devo flip reset. He got a decent amount of power, but couldn't quite catapult it. Suddenly, Barca very much turning this around. This has become a flip reset off, unfortunately, Greasy. Well, that one is not going in this montage anytime soon. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, I don't think he had enough momentum as he tried to land that reset. It was more of a hope than anything else. But flip resets in Rocket League, they're still new enough that you never know. As a defender watching Greasy there, you're like, he might hit this. He could be about to launch it. Oh, there he goes. Greasy will get on the score sheet. It seems like the last shot was just misdirection. It was just, he's playing the long game. Don't be afraid of me, guys. Don't worry, I can't do anything. And now he's scoring.
It's very rare that I've seen a player throw themselves further than they've thrown the ball off a flip reset. Greasy was capable of it.
I can show you that anytime you want, Shogun. Just give me a keyboard and free play. We'll make it happen.
Lead re-established for Magnifico, but Devo is the passing option. He wanted to go to Ronicky, but Ronicky was out of boost. Ended up having to turn himself back around for it. This is now exactly where Magnifico want to be. Oh, shot scuffed the front of the net. And that is the danger. Atomic is so rapid. He comes in again. And Devo managed to get in front of him.
And Atomic is just double touching the ball from every angle. Now here comes Metz with an air dribble. Atomic's up for it as well. Why not? You know, I talked to Greasy about this team and his thoughts on their success. He thinks he's just waited. He's had the same play style this entire time, ever since he's the world champion in Season 2. He's played the same way. And now the meta has finally come full circle and it's back to something that his play works with again. That being a team that just doesn't really care. They just go for any ball, any position, any opponent, no fear. And that, for me, fits Greasy perfectly.
Yeah, Greasy for me has always been a player that, despite his reputation, has never really set the pace for his teams. More seems to fold in with it, as that is going to go in. And we're up to 3 each. This game has been a rapid fire for us.
I thought surely the next goal had to belong to Itachi. He was the last person in the lobby to score, but he's at least been credited with an assist here. Not really sure he was the one who assisted that goal, really. It did look like Greasy just handed it off to Ronicky with a poor clear. Now a chance for Itachi to get on the score sheet. Well saved by Atomic. And a great recovery as well. Now counter-attack for Magnifico. Smetsa is just being a nuisance in this game. Every single time that he can do something to annoy Barcelona, he is doing it. And just watch how aggressive he is with his positioning. He'll be playing for demos when his own team are defending with no boost.
It's a playstyle that is very much starting to rise. As here comes Greasy, wants to put in his second. Dementor will be the last one back. Chooses to try and play us around the world. He's got Ronicky following up. Itachi moves in. Very brave defensive play from Magnifico.
Ooh.
They do look to transition. What a pop that was. Greasy starts moving in. Maybe one final opportunity for Magnifico before we go over to overtime as Itachi does play away. Good stop from Greasy. Looks to turn. Keeps the ball up. Brings in Atomic. No boost for him. So Dementor will play it off the backboard again. Still beats the ball by Devo. And we head over to overtime.
Well, if Game 1 is any indication of what to expect from the series, we're finally getting exactly what we did expect from a series. A 50-50 matchup in every way so far. But Magnifico have looked extremely difficult to play against. It's been Barcelona's, synergy that's allowed them to stay in this one. Magnifico's unpredictability always makes them a hard team to go up against. You can just hear them jumping and you start to panic and thinking, what on earth are they doing now? Who was that jumping from the middle of nowhere? What's he even doing in that position? That's the chance. Dementor has blocked it. Ronicky was looking for the hat-trick.
And now Dementor's got free air to go for off the demo. Looks to try and tap it over to his teammate. That's a good block from Itachi. Magnifico keeping the pressure on. That's going to be an attempted shot. Good stop once again. I do have to agree with you. The point you're making is that, for some of these players, ball count will be on all the time. You'll hear the jump, but they won't necessarily know where it's coming from because very often, especially for Dementor, it is out of the last place you would possibly expect it to be coming from.
Yeah, Dementor is just so hard to read. I honestly don't know how his teammates can read him after such a short time playing together. They seem to have a great idea of what he's doing. It might be like he might just be EU gimmick. If you want to know what Dementor is doing, just think what the most annoying thing he could be doing is, and then multiply it by 3. That's probably what he's doing.
This is going to be a good opportunity. Itachi lays it off for Ronicky, and good save, denying the Ronicky hat-trick. It's a huge breaking opportunity. Greasy might have the infield option, does choose to take it. Atomic realizing he was beat by pre-jumping Itachi. A game that was ripe with goals has suddenly slowed down. Atomic almost played that underneath Devo. Almost 2 minutes of overtime played. There is no fear for Magnifico of playing this ball back, no matter how risky it seems to be. They will launch it at themselves if they have to.
Yeah, they'd rather launch a back pass than give Barcelona the chance to launch a shot. Look at the passing plays of Barca. That was creative. But the shooting has let them down in the last couple of attacking plays. Extremely hard to see where this series is going, but Barca have looked impressive at the tail end here. Full team passing play. Dementor split past the ball. I mean, it's true to his name. It's unpredictable and not what we meant.
So usually in this situation, Johnny, I'd be talking about, that's not the goal that this game deserved. That's kind of the goal this game deserved after what we saw. What a phenomenal way to open us up, though. Regional number 2 over in Europe, delivering as we expected.
I mean, this is, I'm starting to get PTSD right now. Like, seriously, every Dominus player that I ever get teamed up with in Rocket League, they play exactly like that. The last little clip there from Demensa, warping around the ball. It's like, if you tried to do this again, if you tried to replicate that, come very close to hitting 3 different surfaces, 3 different sides of the ball, and miss them all. It's very difficult to do. But yeah, Demensa clearly knows how to do it. Just like all my Dominus playing ranked teammates. I don't want to see any of them anymore, to be honest. It's too much. I don't know how to.
Is that us never teaming again?
Oh dear, you're playing Dominus right now?
I've been in a car crisis for the last 5 years, dude. Like, even heading into battle cars. So it's like 20% Dominus, 20% random button, and then 60% whatever else.
I'll take a random over a Dominus any day, personally. But hey, good start in game number 2 for Magnifico. That's the 2nd game in a row where they've come out of the gates hot and ready to play. Quick by Atomic. No need for a 2-man offensive rotation here. He's just turned on a challenge and caught Barcelona out of position.
This is one of those series, Johnny, that really shows off just how important it is to get a great start over in Europe. Especially with this system, is that despite how close they've been, one of these 2 teams is going to be in a much nicer position coming out of this series. And so for Atomic, he's not going to quite win that race. This has been massive for Barca, just how quick they have been on the offensive turnaround. Rocky gets scared off by Atomic. Now he will pop the ball up over to Devo. Good mid-air transitions. Here's going to be a follow-up shot. Rocky might still get it. Barca were desperate to find their shot on target there. Just couldn't quite get there, though.
Yeah, at times Barcelona, they've got to be thinking to themselves, what is going on in this matchup? We can't read these guys. They just sometimes miss in the ball entirely. They're getting these random touches that just bounce out so much faster than you'd expect. That's what Magnifico are all about, just being as hard to play against as possible. As the aggression ramps up once again. They're sitting on a 1-goal lead here. You wouldn't guess it with how aggressively they're playing.
It's something that, you know, obviously they would like to be in the grid and playing for $10,000 every single week. But the fact that they are not in it has made him even more difficult to prepare for. Shot follow-up from Devo is blocked by Atomic. But we've got a team that's already a question mark at the best of times, not getting weekly showings for teams to start studying them and start figuring out how they like to do things. You know, the only teams that are going to know what Magnifico are doing are Magnifico themselves and whichever teams are lucky enough to scrim them.
I don't know if Magnifico know what they're doing, Shogun. I think they're just playing the game and seeing what happens. Big 50-50 win by Itachi. He had momentum, and the Magnifico defender did not. Once again, Barcelona able to come back from behind.
Yeah, Demensa tried so hard to correct the position. Knew he was going to be forced into the challenge, but as always, it's going to be second best, especially to someone running in with that much power. The lead just keeps changing back and forth. Round and round it goes. Barca would like to try and grab one here. That'll be the first one that they've actually got from regular time. Demensa on top. Looks to hook round. It's going to be an interesting position to try and play this. Still tries to drop it to Greasy. Not the best touch for him. Got to be said that, as ridiculous as it's been so far, Barca have done a great job to not get... Oh, no! Oh, what has happened there?
Oh,
Roddicky gets credit, but he had very little to do with this one.
Oh, no. Oh, dear, Greasy Meister. That was actually hard. I feel like that was harder to score than it was to save or clear. But somehow he stuck it in the top corner. Oh, that's the most Magnifico goal you're going to see all day. This truly is why. This team are so fun to watch. More of a threat to their own net than their opponents at times.
No idea. Like, just ridiculous. Greasy looks to drop it over to Atomic. It's very fun on our side as well, because you look to see what should make sense, and then you have to start talking about the exact opposite. Right now, what would make sense for them is to try and get that goal back. Atomic couldn't make contact, so Roddicky can clean up nice and clean. Devo actually has got Roddicky to aim for. It's going to be a difficult shot. Roddicky was still up there very quick. Barca just look like they're settling down here. They're very unfazed. There's another good shot. Ronicky starting to find at least the accuracy. Next up will be the power. Barca holding midfield, but it is only Ronicky by himself. He's got 2 players up near him. Dementor will have Atomic coming in midfield, but the pass is so far away, right next to the defenders.
Yeah, the infield pass was read like a book by Barca on that play. It looked like the backboard may have been more open, but it's really hard to know where to, you know, set up your shots from against Barcelona. They do defend extremely well. A team with these 3 players, you wouldn't expect them to be a defensive powerhouse, but for me, they are more impressive in general in defense than they are in attack. Although today their passing has been spectacular. Their defense is always difficult to get past.
Ronicky is just going to shoot every single time he's had the ball so far. And he is hitting the target more often than not. I'll definitely want him to really start popping off. Breezy keeps it awkward, wants to pull Ronicky in. Ronicky might just up Atomic. Atomic keeps the ball up. And there is no follow. There's a lot of multi-touch plays going on in the midfield, and Magnifico have been getting the slight better of it, but they've never had an extra touch afterwards to really take advantage of what they have gained. Now 40 seconds left. Despite how well they have played in this one, they might be heading down by 2. Good shot. Ronicky just keeps it out, but every single time I see a defensive touch from Magnifico, I'm a little scared.
Same. I already know where you're going with that one. I was the entire time there. I was just thinking, okay, which one of them's going to own goal this time? Who's going to make a monumental win? Oh, dear. Well, Magnifico are giving it a shot here. They're trying to play as aggressively as possible in the closing seconds to get a late comeback, but getting in each other's way at times. The synergy is lacking as Barcelona almost extend their series already. Will they be able to do it? Yes, they will. 2-0 Barca. Have taken 2 games in a row by 1 goal, and both of those winning goals had enormous mistakes from Magnifico. 1 whiff from Demenza in game 1, an own goal by Greasy in game 2. Atomic's probably just thinking to himself, oh dear, what am I going to do in the next game? what have I got in store? What blunder am I going to pull out the factory?
Demenza has left the lobby real quick, so maybe he's heard you here, Johnny. Maybe we're off to get a non-Dominus. What do you think? I think this is a Fennec.
It has to be a solid card. This team has enough unpredictability as is. You don't need a Dominus in the team as well.
He's going to double down it. This is the Batmobile. We get the rare Batmobile, I reckon.
Yeah, I think 3 Fennecs would be the best choice for Magnifico. Just try to dial things back a little bit. That being said, Greasy did own goal in a Fennec, so it's not like that's going to make them foolproof.
Jumping straight over here to find out.
I still think they're fully capable of, you know, making ridiculously random plays in a triple Fennec team. But we'll see. Demenza, I think maybe just changed his paint job for this game.
Maybe he's put a go faster stripe on it, you know.
Well, he is red. Red cars are the fastest. People will know this.
The aggressiveness will scare Barca off.
Well, so far, I'm feeling pretty good about my prediction, Shogun. I didn't think it was going to go like this. I didn't think Magnifico were going to be their own worst enemies, but Barca do have the edge. The best part about this, though, is that if Magnifico win from this position 3-2, I wouldn't even be surprised. I'd be like, well, of course they do. They've won. They've decided all 5 games.
It would be a handicap that they have set for themselves and still managed to overcome. And yet again, it's hard to get excited for it anymore because they have again taken the lead within the opening minute. Just sort of become part of the script, really. The other part of the script is sort of the big mistake. They'll like to try and avoid it this time around. This could be a monster play. Demenza does get the challenge set up for Breezy and bundles it over the line.
For a second there, I thought Demenza was just going to run right into the back of Atomic for the team pull shot, and I would have loved to see that. But this also works, the little handoff, kind of a bat and pass goal from Atomic to Demenza. You see the communication was definitely on point in that play.
Oh, that is a good clear as well. Ronicky forced back. So 2 goals up. I've already lost 1 of these so far this series. I'd like to try and keep it this time around. Itachi again up in the race. Can't beat Demenza. I'm looking forward to seeing how Magnifico will take to this lead this time around. They've been very happy to try and chase everything like they're a goal down. After last time, are they a little scared off? Are they willing to take a little bit more time off the ball? Or are they just going to have Demenza go the whole way? It's a huge setup at Atomic. Well, he's not going to miss that.
Yeah, these guys are the real deal. So hard to read, so hard to play against. Huge 50-50s coming out in game 3 for Magnifico. They don't just clip on their opponents. They don't just style on them as they weave in and out and over the top. They go straight through them as well.
We made the comparison earlier on, Dementor to Gimmick, in just terms of like how awful he can be to play against at times. That was the most Gimmick play I've seen in some time. Just take the ball to the air, keep spinning around, you know, set the rules for the mid-air challenge, and put yourself into the best possible position to win it. Something Gimmick was so strong at, especially when he was on that World Championship winning team with Cloud9.
Oh, wow.
Dropping up for another opportunity. Magnifico are mauling them here.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Dementor, he is EU Gimmick. This guy will not stop being a nuisance. He is completely missed in defense as well, so still I stand by exactly my comparison.
You've doubled it up here.
Yeah, he's definitely EU Gimmick with these plays. Here he goes again. It's another walk-in goal, 4-0 after a defensive whiff. Just Gimmick things.
It wasn't really as stylish as the last one, really, was it? This game has very quickly gotten out of hand for Barca. This is big, though, I mean, can I even say that Magnifico can carry over momentum to the next game? Do they really worry about that? It's sort of difficult to tell on them, as that is a good goal from Ronaki. And if they are going to make the comeback happen, and a 4-goal comeback is more or less unheard of at this sort of level, this is going to be the start of it. Phenomenal shot.
Yeah, that's a sick pre-flip from Ronaki. Had to get a bit lower than the shot initially, and then just wait for the ball to come down to him. But perfect timing. Just clipped it right at the end off his flip and knocked it over the top of Greasy. You know, the one thing that's quite interesting here is that if Dementor is EU Gimmick, then I guess this is what Cloud9 would have looked like back in the day if they didn't have Torment on the team, if they didn't have, you know, a solid defensive player. This is what you would have got, guys. It's definitely entertaining, but a lot more unpredictable. But yeah, what would you like to see from Magnifico Shogun to try and iron out these defensive mistakes, try and stop these from happening with such consistency?
I don't know. As the neutral, I wouldn't want them to get rid of the defensive mistakes. But as the NS, wait a second. They've given up another weak one here.
Yeah, we got a game. Yeah, Atomic just completely missing here. So inviting Itachi to shoot, obviously that's a terrible idea. Once again, it's the defense crumbling. And if they lose this, their confidence might be crushed.
There we go.
Oh, never mind. They're fine. they're good.
Good job, Johnny, trying to build that one up, but we're not allowed it today.
Yeah, did you see that little caster trick there? It's like Magnifico might win, but they also might lose. We're just
you always speak as slowly as possible.
Yeah. They might score, but they might miss. Keep watching to find out what happens next.
I think to your point that you're making earlier as well, it's hard to not point at Magnifico and say, oh, they can fix this by not making the big whoopsie.
Yeah.
You know, just that's it, really. You know, just clean it up. Maybe don't score in your own net. You're looking all good. Oh, dearie me. That was a collision.
It's infectious, Shogun. They've been infected. I'm sure we can all relate. Sometimes, you know, you see one whiff in a game and then everybody starts missing. This is what's happening. Magnifico are infecting their opponents with their random misplays.
I mean, they've just double committed for that.
It's all part of the
Greasy
plan.
Strat. Yeah, Greasy is the originator of the quote that double commit means double the chance. He definitely does follow it at times. He would much rather see two people go for it than nobody.
Exactly. You know, but to answer my own question earlier, I don't know if a Torment or a similar type of player could balance out the kind of ridiculousness we're seeing. Yeah, you do. You really do need a Gibbs, don't you? You need the modern equivalent of Gibbs to try and somehow rein in this team. They are immense offensively. Absolute monstrous team to play against. But yeah, they do love to concede goals at their own expense, that's for sure.
Do we have anyone in the pro scene right now that is that defensive that we could maybe throw in?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
Make sure you give us a shout on that one. Hashtag
let us know on
RLCS
Twitter who would be the the modern day Gibbs who could just sit in defense while Magnifico run riot in the other side of the field, breaking every rotation and every rule that we think applies to professional Rocket League while they do it.
Know that if you do indeed try and put yourself in for that role, then you don't get any credit. Because as we all know, offense gets credit and defense gets blamed.
Facts.
It's just the way of things, unfortunately. 20 seconds left here. Magnifico very much in control the entire way. They look like they had it wrapped up ever since they had that 4-goal lead. They made a little bit of a scare of it. Of course they did. This one has been comfortable. We are going over to game number 4, Johnny. You said a reverse sweep wouldn't surprise you.
Oh, it
One step of the way there.
Yeah, watch this happen just to have me be the only person with the wrong prediction on the analyst desk in the pre-show. That's the worst part about going first. Everybody else can just conspire against you just to make this happen.
It's even worse. I had it last week where you make the prediction, then you've got to go and cast. And
yeah, true.
We never have that. No one else today is going to have that problem. It's just us. Yeah. It's a conspiracy against us, I think. But my goodness. Magnifico showing off what they do at their very best. And what their very best is just an unrelenting force of offense.
Yeah, if nothing else, Magnifico seem to be the ones who are choosing their own destiny today. Should they win, it's on their own terms with relentless aggression. And just shot after shot after shot. Oh, we're winning by 3 goals. Let's just keep playing the same way. Let's just continue to attack non-stop. And if they lose, it's off the back of a huge defensive mistake. So let's find out which kind of Magnifico it's going to be in this game. I'm predicting at least one really silly goal going into their net. Okay, well, minimum. We'll see how that is. We'll also see whether or not the opening goal for Magnifico coming early will continue on here. This will be their 4th game in a row, which would just be ridiculous. Here's going to be a starting attempt. Devo gets it to attach. He does make contact, and this is going to be a good chance for Magnifico to put some pressure onto Mensa. Wow, I think he pre-jumped that by like 2 seconds as Itachi goes one-on-one, takes way too much time. Greasy goes diving in. He's got a good block. Magnifico determined to keep the pressure up. Heavy pass, though. Greasy's not going to quite make it. Barca, they're starting to run out of boost a little bit. 0 boost on 2 of them. Roniki's the only one. He's gone hunting, but he's not got anything for it. Off the backboard, doesn't make contact. I mean, it's so important that Magnifico weren't aware of just how bad that was for Barca. Otherwise, they would have gone full on in. Yeah, they're still coming at them with everything they've got. That's a terrible clear by Mensa, though. Itachi puts it into the open net. You know, I don't think this even qualifies as their biggest defensive mistake of the game, though. I have full confidence that something worse will happen later on. It's bad news for Magnifico. They've had good starts in most of the game so far. This one is pretty shocking. Just a panicked play, really, wasn't it? Yeah. He knew that there was players around him. Thought he had to play as quickly as he had to. Would have been better off just taking a touch, seeing where things went afterwards. So Magnifico down by 1 in the game that they have to win. Otherwise, they will drop to 1-1 on the day. In the ever-stacked European groups, Atomic called in to save, and he's managed to do it. Barca would love to try and make this a 2-goal lead. And as difficult it is to defend against a team as chaotic as this, doing it when you know you don't have to go pushing forward afterwards is much easier. And for the drop, Devo took the shot, huge save! And Greasy keeps it at 1-0, but for how much longer? Demensa tries to find the corner. Roniki for the set, nobody following, however. That was a massive play to keep this at 1-0. Yeah, huge save out of Greasy, just diving down onto the goal line. In the nick of time to save that one. Nobody's back to keep Roniki out, though. It's kicked off out into the middle off Itachi's 50-50. And Roniki, as usual, an accurate striker from the edge of the box. Yeah, Roniki, you're only going to stop him if you've got about 1 or 2 defenders in your net. Put no one there. And he's not going to let you get away with it. We have been talking an awful lot about Magnifico here, Johnny, but Barca have just been their perfect foils so far. It is very easy to get dragged into the pit and fight this with the same style. They have not done that. They have stuck with their guns. So far, it's worked. Yeah, this game, it went kind of perfectly for Barca. Because the first 2 games, they didn't have to really press the issue. They were just doing their thing, trying to keep a solid rotation going, trying to pass the ball whenever they could, and wait for Magnifico to make mistakes. And that did happen 2 times. Now, they are well aware that if they just continue to play a consistent game, the mistakes will come. All the wins, or all the lead, this being, I'm already calling it a win for Barca, started off with a, really, really poor clear coming out to Medicine from Magnifico. And that's, just as bad, really, as the own goal and the whiff that threw away games 1 and 2.
Well, for Barca, this is exactly what they want to see. Mentioned on the desk earlier on that they had a rough patch during the regional, but my goodness, that rough patch is done and dusted. They have rolled over Magnifico here in Game 4. And maybe this, as entertaining as they are, this will open up some questions about Magnifico, especially defensively. And it will start to show a few other teams how to play against them.
Yeah, if you just wait for the mistakes, then you might just get a free win. The problem with that, though, I'm thinking back to something I've heard from Fairy Peak in the past. Oh my goodness, what a save by Atomic. That's, well, probably something Fairy Peak will be saying these days. But in the past, I heard Fairy Peak say that when he used to 1v1 Devo, he wouldn't really know what to expect. Oh, Devo's aerial, he's coming at me with an aerial play. I might as well just sit in goal and then find out if Devo's scoring or if I'm getting an open net after he misses. You just wait and see what's going to happen when you play Magnifico. They might just throw the game by a landslide. They might just throw the series. But if you just sit back and wait, they also might pop off and win 3-0. So it is risky. And it worked here for Barca, just sitting back, doing their thing, and waiting for Magnifico to lose. But this Magnifico team, they can actually play a great series start to finish. So that's the risk that you have to just accept. If that's your play style, then you know the risks that come with it.
Now, 5-0, I think, Johnny, you are definitely coming out correct on the prediction. Me,
Yes.
Gibbs, and Leaf all coming out wrong, as well as 50% of you in the chat. Or was it 49? I don't quite know where that one ended. Either way, half of you are right, half of you are wrong. And since we're not really following each individual vote, you can claim either way.
I think the 51% on the chat vote, they kept on flicking back and forth.
Oh, there we go. There's the goal. There's the own goal.
I told you there would be a sillier goal. It's an inevitability when this team are on the field. Yeah, I believe that Twitch chat were leaning 50.5% for Barca, so I suppose that Twitch chat can take this as a W for them as well. They've technically gotten this one right, or as a collective. But yeah, this is a really difficult matchup to predict because you don't know what to expect from Magnifico. This has not been their best showing, and hopefully for their sake they can pick it up, because if they do continue to play like this, I don't think that they go three wins in the day. However, I expect that they will pick it up and bounce back in one of the later rounds.
Well, we do have the results from the last regional to work from as well. Last regional, it was Barca that went 3-0 on week 1, and Magnifico went 3-2 off losses to Dignitas and Venk, but they managed to beat Giants and Oxygen. So, sort of the typical results of Magnifico, really.
Yep.
Losing to the ones that you'd expect them to be and beating the ones you'd expect them to lose to. That's a good play over the top, but 7-0. This has got very silly in terms of scoreline towards the very end. Maybe we can get the one extra from Magnifico, but not forthcoming from Barca. They are laser focused on getting another 3-0 and really just capitalizing on their current momentum. Here's Ronicky, flip reset. Go on, buddy. Let's try and get up to 8. Ronicky's already got a hat trick. Ronicky will continue to just be the standard of goal scoring in the regional. Barca moved to 2-0. They've now got 3 opportunities to make it through to week number 2. And they have done it in style.
Yeah, the sooner the better. If they can make it into the next stage of this regional event for EU, after just 3 rounds, going a perfect 3-0, then that will improve their seeding for the next stage of the competition. So they're absolutely going to give that their best shot. And they look like they've got a great chance of making it happen. Yes, there's been a lot of mistakes from Magnifico in this series, and a lot of really glaring errors that are hard to ignore. And it's kind of made Barcelona's solid performance, I think, a bit harder to appreciate. But they did play well. They took their chances. Their passing plays were phenomenal. And they look like they could go 3-0 on today. They've just got to wait and see who they're going to be up against in the next round.
Yeah, for Barca, 8-0. They not only get the win, but they fully avenge what was a bit of a silly scoreline in the last game as well. As for Magnifico, they were Magnifico. This is what we expect from them. That's what they've been so entertaining for. Question will be is about whether or not this sort of playstyle, though, can, get them into majors or get them into a world championship, maybe even win them one of these. It does very much feel like they are a couple of coin flips away and will require an awful lot of luck when it comes to their form.
Yeah, if this is the first time you've seen them play, then don't judge Magnifico entirely based on that game, because they can pop off and beat just about anybody in the world. And maybe we'll get a chance to see that later on today or later on this weekend. But this was definitely a series that they'd rather forget in a hurry.
So we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it is a rematch from last week's grid as Oxygen will be taking on Guild.